down to it and shoot for the sky.
Hello and welcome to the Ring Post Daily Podcast. You're listening to myself, Jesse Henrik, the RPD Prophecy Champion, Eddie Wade, Joey Hudson, Der General, Tyreek Ramsey, and Repik from TSW. How are you doing today, sir?
Pretty good. How about you all? How you all doing?
Excited to have
not too bad, man. Not too bad. I tell you what, I talked to the people over at TSW, and I was like, listen, I've gotten a bunch of your people, but I need this guy. I need Repik on the show. Because, man, I have been impressed with your work, I swear. Ever since I seen you at the 11th anniversary, watching that show, man, I was like, damn, this guy can go. So just to kind of get into it, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? How did you get into the business? And can you tell us what it was like learning under the Marvelous Pro Wrestling Academy? Because you are touted as one of their first graduates.
Yeah, that's why I keep hearing along the way. It really started. I mean, as cliche as it sounds, is where it all begins as a kid. A kid with a dream. Remember one of my very first few WrestleManias I remember is the WrestleMania 20, and one of my favorite WrestleManias. And I don't know, I could watch that one back and just get the fire lit every single time.
Absolutely.
Grew up a poor kid, and just a couple other friends, that was willing and stupid enough to build a ring backyard, front yard, and get out there and beat the piss out of one another and recreate moves. I mean, it was literally like Matt and Jeff growing up. I mean, their story is a lot similar, as well as the Young Bucks. I mean, it's just getting a group of friends that's crazy enough to do some crazy stuff, who actually had the burning desire to go the distance.
Sounds like the Little League of
Wrestling.
Awesome, man. And by the way, Jesse, check the.
It kind of goes in stages, doesn't it? It really does. It goes from wrestling on the bed to the trampoline to making your own ring to like actually getting in a ring.
Just think,
oh yeah, and that's the thing. We're jumping off your dressers and jumping off the porches and buildings. It's one thing, but after you actually get into the wrestling
people like
ring,
us are the reason why WWE has those "Don't Try to Home" videos, because we did already.
Yeah, I ignored every single one of them. Every single one of them. I just smirked. Yeah, watch me.
Absolutely. All right. And then can you tell us a little bit about, learning with the Academy?
Learning with the Academy. I actually, before I even got my feet wet into the professional business, we were kind of trained underground a little bit, but, it's good. And then I met up with Mike Murphy. He broke us in, and we went through all the training stuff. They was all impressed. They was all happy, and just hard work and loyalty. Show up, pay your dues, and Mike Murphy. I mean, he's a good guy, and you will see your rewards in the end. I mean, hard work pays off.
Absolutely.
Just depends on how hard you're willing to work for
Which
it.
I respect the fact that you
sorry, not counting your.
Oh, I was gonna say I respect you for recognizing WrestleMania 20 for the event that it was, because that's for me too. And like WrestleMania 20 was one of the. When I think of WrestleManias, my very first one I go to is WrestleMania 14. After that, it's WrestleMania 20 or 17, my favorite of all time. And there's 20. WrestleMania 20 was a great event. I love how you point that out. Great mind.
Right. Yeah. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's just something about that entire event, and I don't know, man. I grew up watching, Eddie Guerrero,
Yep.
Benoit, and you know, I know he's got a bad rap, but I mean, he was a
Exactly.
good worker.
Yeah, in the
I
ring,
mean,
one of the best there ever was. Outside of the ring, we just don't talk about him.
exactly, yeah. But again, I mean, I picked up a lot of shades from the Hardys as well. And,
Yeah, yeah, you can definitely see that in your
Mhm.
style, like your
and
moonsault. When I see that, I just get reminded of like a young Matt Hardy. That's what I
I can
see.
see that. I can
yeah,
see that.
also I try to pick the classical too. A lot along the lines more like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels,
Heck yeah.
All right.
and just
So speaking of those type of legends, there, uh, not counting yourself, of course, who is on Repic's Pro Wrestling Mount Rushmore?
I've been asked that so many times, even by fellow brothers in the locker room, and that's honestly a rough one for me. Honestly,
It always is.
We ask the tough questions here.
that's a rough one for me. I mean, Undertaker for certain.
Okay.
Um,
Taker's on
We
so
hear
many
that
I
one a
was
lists,
lot
always,
around
which
here.
respectfully so.
yeah, I was always a Stone Cold baby. I was
What?
always a Stone Cold fan.
Okay.
Uh, can't put every single one of the four horsemen on there, but
Good
I got to go
choice.
with Ric Flair.
Okay.
Uh, Lord, who else? Hogan's overused.
Yes.
Uh, Goodness gracious. There's so many, man. Edge, Matt Hardy, Christian, Jeff,
Yeah. And
Ooh,
or
and you
Rob
know
Van
it's
Dam. I'll put
RVD's a
Tommy
good one.
Dreamer up
yeah.
there.
I
Tommy Dreamer.
Tommy Dreamer. All right. Yeah. The innovator of violence. I can jive with that. I okay.
Oh,
So we haven't discussed this or anything on the pod yet, but I'm hoping, like when we go through our kind of Hall of Fame, predictions, I'm hoping he's in the Hall of
Paul
Fame
Heyman.
this year in Philadelphia. That would be really cool.
exactly.
Who? Oh, Tommy Dreamer. I thought you meant
Tommy
Paul
Dreamer.
Heyman.
Hell yeah, Dreamer.
Yeah, well, yeah, Paul Heyman. I want Paul Heyman to be like the first ballot, like the main guy, but have Tommy Dreamer in there too. Come on.
That'd be awesome.
Oh
They
yeah.
have to put Bray Wyatt in there. Rest in
Yeah.
peace, Bray.
So okay, since we're talking about it, shit, where? Well, I had the original Wyatt family. I had Paul Heyman, Tommy Dreamer. I had Umaga on there and William Regal. That's who I want to see as the Hall of Fame
Ooh,
class of
I'd love to
2024.
see
That's a good one.
Umaga get in just for the whole bloodline. Even for one
Uh,
last moment, you see all the bloodline come back out, and they
well, that's
his
yeah.
sons and I mean, I want to see like a whole family tree out there for Umaga because, dude, I grew up and like when I first saw Umaga, I was like, dude, that
That
is gonna be crazy. Like that was the craziest thing I've ever seen since Kane. Crazy.
yeah, absolutely.
Kane crazy.
And I figure since they're kind of
I
finishing
remember
up
when they
this.
pulled.
Oh, go ahead.
I was sitting there thinking back to Umaga there. I remember when they pulled Santino Marella right out of the crowd and he won
Do you
his
remember the pop that
Intercontinental
came
Yeah,
with
Championship
that?
right there.
that
Not
was one
one.
of the craziest things they ever did.
It
Me
was a
too. I
huge
was like,
pop.
nah,
I
this
was
is gonna be a
freaking out at the
squash
house.
match, and then what the freak just happened? I am Santino Marella.
All right. Well, I'm gonna shoot over.
So, uh,
I'm gonna shoot over to Ty
what was
now.
that? Yeah. So, Repik, taking us back to when you first started. Where'd your name kind of originate from? Because I've asked that question with multiple wrestlers. I'm just like, their name sounds cool. Is there a deeper story behind that?
And the
Uh,
Behind
nickname.
Repik?
I need to know the nickname too.
the nickname, the Undead
I
Tragedy. It's just something. Undead Tragedy was just something I came up here past recently because the after the COVID and stuff, it was just I was in a bad mental state, and it was And sum it all up in one word, it was a tragedy. And Repik, right now you're talking with Jeremy Kuiper about Repik, and Repik is actually the alter ego I try to, hide away until wrestling time, but Repik is actually my last name spelled backwards.
Dude,
Oh,
that's
okay. I didn't even realize that.
Heck yeah.
I like
He
that.
literally went into
That is really cool.
It's my last name spelled
Dude,
backwards, and it's my alter ego, my
he
mirror
literally
image,
went into this
my
wrestling
evil
career with
mirror
things
image.
thought out.
See,
Yeah.
you Daniel Bryan us.
Yeah, like
It is. It's great. It's crazy because it just sounds like a wrestling name
Like,
almost. It just has
yeah.
a ring to it almost.
The
Just
only thing
Repik.
it's missing
Well,
is like a cheesy mask. Like that's all it's missing.
like you can tell this
I
guy
had a
went in.
few.
This guy went into professional wrestling career with
In the
things thought out. I like that.
But,
Again, just trying to get out there, go the distance, and just trying to search. I mean, early in the fresh out of high school, breaking in with Mike Murphy and them, getting get my feet wet there for 2 years before they said, okay, let's get you some outside bookings. I traveled around mostly northern, eastern Kentucky, and down south in Tennessee. I will say this one match that was booked and scheduled, and I was excited for. One match that went through was I got to wrestle Crazy Steve down in
oh, really?
Crossville, Tennessee. And the same night, they was like a 2-part show. It was 2 shows in one night. It was just in my mind, I was like in one big show, super card. But I was scheduled to work Sabu in the main event, and
Really?
Oh,
he no showed.
boo sabu.
Oh.
Ah,
Broke my heart because again he was. If it went for Tommy Dreamer being up there, if he would have showed up, probably Sabu would have been there.
Man, and with your style of wrestling and stuff, dude,
All
I
right.
could see you going with someone like that. I really could. Like, I think,
Yeah.
especially with Sabu
You
being
know-
kind of up there in age, I think that would help. I think you could run circles around him right now, as young as you are. He'd be like, "What the heck is this kid doing?"
You know,
That was about 6 years ago.
You
So I
need to
mean,
get a hold of him and make it happen.
you know, it's
it
interesting you
was a
bring
good
up Crazy
dream match,
Steve.
but no,
It's interesting you bring up Crazy Steve because he's over in Impact right now, and I could really see you wrestling over in Impact. Yeah, he does good work, and I think if they got a hold of you, gave you a tryout, I think that they could make some money with you. That X division, I could see that working out real nice.
Me and a couple of me and my old buddies I grew up with, we sat and we talked about the X Division a lot. Impact. We've actually attended a few of their events, and wrestling's
Exactly.
wrestling to me. I love it all. I mean, I
Yeah.
just love the sport. And me personally, I mean, growing up all throughout school, what do you want to be when you grow up? You fireman, policeman, whatever. I'm wrestler. And then
Okay.
everybody, you're too small,
Heck
you're
yeah,
too
dude,
little.
you
I'm
did
like,
it.
watch
That's
me.
cool.
Hey,
And hey,
you're proving it now.
I'm the.
I'm
Go
trying,
ahead.
man. That's
Sorry.
all. That's just the key motto. I just keep going with. I
I was
try.
gonna say
I
I'm
just
like
keep
you. I
trying.
love all wrestling. Sure, I don't watch much New Japan or AEW. I might be more of a WWE guy, but at the end of the day, wrestling's wrestling. And if AEW is making the wrestling world thrive somehow, hey, I'm all for it. I might not watch your product all the time. I might not be your biggest fan of your product, but I at least respect your guys for getting out there and doing what WWE or in this case TSW guys do.
I would definitely watch and keep up with AEW if I could afford it. I don't have my I don't have a Spectrum TV package.
Yeah. Well, that's when
No,
it helps when
I
you're in a little. That's when it helps you have a syndicate like we have, where we just
Or if
share
you're
the
just like me and
expenses.
Or if you're
absolutely
like
yeah.
me and use illegal sites, which I don't care who knows, but
Joey, for the last time, this is the second time I've had to say this on the pod. We are not having illegal activity on
I'm
the
not
pod.
watching it on the pod.
Anyways, Ty, keep us rolling.
Yeah, Repik. So, what would you say has been like the smallest crowd you've been in front of, and then you can name the largest, and then what would be the best crowd you've been in front of?
Smallest crowd I ever participated in front of. I would have to say the old backyard crew. The smallest. I mean, it helped to get us the feel for the crowd. You know, try to work them. View where they're at. And but yeah, that would probably be the smallest, most faithful crowd I've ever seen in my life. Was the ones that kept coming to our backyard events. And I'd say the largest crowd. That's hmm. I did a lot of wrestling for TSW. We did get a lot of good crowds there. I wrestled a lot for Kentucky Zone Wrestling when they was open. They drew some big crowds. I believe one of the biggest ones was the Bluegrass Fair.
Oh,
Like
wow.
one of the biggest of the big, I guess,
That big.
big fair, And
If
1OW when John
if they
Strange
had
ran, he drew some. Scott Diamond up there, KEPW, he draws big crowds, and they're all fun, all good people.
if there was wrestling at
Oh,
my
I don't
local
blame
fair, I'd be there every day. That'd be awesome.
We've actually tried to get some like close in my local hometown, but they just want music festivals and they don't want
Yeah.
wrestling, and I
you.
guess
Those
they think
people
it
don't know
might
what they're
cause too
talking
much
about.
of a
The rest
riot.
is freaking awesome.
Go redneck just walking around.
All right. Joey,
Sure.
you want to keep us going?
First off, I don't know if you even recognize me, but I saw you in like the bathroom at the last TSW show, and we were chatting for a bit. And I was like, I want to get this guy on an interview, and then I get like 2 days later a notification saying, hey, we're gonna have Repik on. I'm like, heck yeah! But I was the guy wearing like the Ring Post Daily shirt, managing Eddie out. And I didn't know if you recognized me as the guy you saw in the bathroom. We like talked for like 5 minutes, and then that was it. But yeah,
Was that
Barville,
in
yeah.
Barville? Was I
No,
in the
you
stall
were
or putting my
using the
makeup
urinal, and I
on?
was washing my hands, and I was waiting for you to get done to talk to you, because that's just weird.
Oh yeah. I'll be honest with you. If I'm at a show, my
Oh,
mind is
you're all
everywhere.
ready
I'm
to go.
scatterbrained.
But
Thinking of this and there. But you do look familiar.
no, like
I've seen you
I just
around.
wanted to say that
Yeah.
talking to you
Now
last
he's
time and everything, like I was like, wow, this guy's really cool. He's gonna make a really cool guest. I just knew it. Oh,
I try. Like I'm a terrible
I was
spokesperson.
gonna
So
say
I
you're
mean,
doing
I'm
good so
surprised
far,
I've lasted
buddy.
this long without
So
stumbling.
getting into the next question, what would you say is the hardest match you've ever had so far, and why?
Hardest match and why? Ugh. Hmm. I would say one of the hardest matches for me would be a career versus championship match against I was a heavyweight. It was a heavyweight championship match at Kentucky Zone Wrestling. It was against Matty B. He was a good competitor. But he had two goons outside of the ring, and I just kept pushing through, trying to figure out what it takes, what it takes to get to the championship. So after I had no other options left, I throw my career on the line. Like, hey, if I don't get to beat you this last time, I'm done. I'm done here. I'll go somewhere else or whatever. But he early on in that match, he got the 1-2-3 on me. But there another ref that was viewing from the outside came in and didn't really reverse the decision, just restarted the match. I did a big dive off the top rope, took out the two goons and threw them in the back, and we carried on the match. And then there was a few times where I thought I wasn't going to be able to kick out, but lo and behold, three super kicks and a moonsault later, I
Heck yeah.
came out champ.
Heck yeah, dude.
There you go.
But then,
I gotta ask, does that moonsault of yours, does it have a name? Because it should.
Well, if you attended some of the shows, my music, I come out to Hollywood Undead. I'm a big fan. It's one of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
I have the Undead tattoo, and I've actually thought about calling
Heck
it the
yeah.
Dove and Grenade.
I got friends that are into that
Okay.
band, so.
I'm the Dove dropping the
And
grenade.
hey, and by the way, Jesse, I like the way you have this question thing
So-
layered out because this is where I can put my Vince Russo of the day moment. Now, I think it'd be really cool if we saw some Repik T-shirts out there that said "Repik is epic." Like, I'm buying one. The minute I'm buying one, and then I see it
Repik
hits
is epic.
online. Like, I love how I can put my little Vince Russo moment in there. It makes me feel special.
oh my lord.
Funny you say that because when I first got my very first Xbox 360, my gamer tag was Epic Repik
I'm just saying,
69.
what a coincidence.
Ah, nice.
And we didn't spell it with the C, we spelled it with the K. E-P-I-K,
Heck yeah,
R-E-P-I-K.
dude. But
Nice. I gotta ask,
So
since you mentioned,
there may be some t-shirt designs.
there you go. Since you mentioned you're such a Hollywood Undead fan, I gotta ask, are you a Deuce guy or a
Okay.
Danny guy?
All right. All due respect to Deucey Boy there. He was the first album guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I went and seen Hollywood Undead live in concert twice. And Danny done both of those concerts, and they done both songs from the old album and the newer albums.
Yeah.
He killed it. So I listened to some of Deuce's solo stuff. Not much. I'm still the Undead guy, but I probably have to lean more towards Danny.
I can see that.
Okay. That's respectable. I just figured I'd ask.
Now, I'm going to ask my final question.
All right. Well,
And
I know
this
it's coming,
is probably the
Joey.
most important question you'll ever be asked in your lifetime. But do you keep up with today's product, WWE and all that?
WWE. I do to an extent. I try to catch up what I don't. Like I said, I don't have live TV, so I catch up on.
Well, that's great
Catch reruns up on
because
Hulu.
well, that's
And
great to hear
click
because my next question is, as a wrestler and a fan, do you acknowledge Roman Reigns as the tribal chief? I do. We all know I do, but I'm just curious
Oh
what
my
you want to
Lord.
say.
It's a good storyline. It's a good storyline. He's all right. He's done good. They've done every one of the Shield members have done so much accomplishments in a very short time. Actually, I mean,
Like think of it
do
like
I
this:
acknowledge
you're a
him?
wrestler, he's a wrestler. He approaches you and says, "Hey, I'll give you a title shot right now, but you have to acknowledge me." What do you do?
Hey man, I'm a mark just
Heck
like
yeah,
the rest of
one's
them,
in the air, the
son.
one's okay.
Me too.
You know who I acknowledge? I acknowledge WWE's Ring General Gunta, who just became today the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in history. That's
No
who I
offense, but
acknowledge.
finally,
I was wondering when
yeah,
they
I was gonna say no offense, but get that honky tonk crap out of here.
That's
You know-
crazy when you think about the names that have held that title. That's just crazy.
Well, after all
I'm-
the great,
And now
I mean, a lot of
Tyreek's our ring general. Crap.
I'm
Jeff
glad
Hardy was
that they had him do it.
And now Tyreek's our ring general.
Yeah.
Crap.
I'm glad that they did it. Because, I mean, How does it look for WWE having an Elvis impersonator being their longest reigning Intercontinental Champion? Like, don't get me wrong, Honky Tonk was great for his time, but I mean, come on, there's no way you could put Gunther behind him.
I mean, you could.
Hey, Gunther, he's a hard hitter. He's a hell of a wrestler. Hey, when
I know there's like
when I hear Gunther's coming on, I sit down and I watch. I do,
I mean, there's just like a lot of generational talents just in the business
and
right now.
I'm
You know,
glad
just
Absolutely.
a lot of people who
they're
just
giving
stand
Well, as
out.
receiver of
too.
the Tribal Chief
Yeah.
Bathwater Award, I appreciate you for acknowledging the Tribal Chief.
The honorary Oos himself drinking
Soaking
it up.
in, man.
I would acknowledge Joe before I would Roman, but yeah, I like them all.
Like, just
I
you
mean,
acknowledging him, I'm soaking that in right now.
All right, Eddie, why don't you keep us rolling?
All right. So gonna ask any star from period motion. Who do you put yourself?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that one more time?
Out of any like wrestler from any promotion or anything like that, all time, would you say your style is most comparable, like the way you wrestle in the ring?
Most comparable.
When you look at another wrestler in a national promotion or something, who do you look at and would say that's me?
Woo. Let's see.
I know.
Honestly,
I know what
I
my
look a lot.
answer would be.
I would look at the LWO. I watch some of their stuff, especially Ray. Ray, I grew up with Ray all my life, and for him still be doing it, Hall of Famer, United States champion, still kicking ass and going.
Yeah,
He's a long
Especially after all the
life
knee surgeries
luchador.
and stuff he's had.
He's
Ray is
the
my childhood hero.
definition
Yeah,
of
especially after all
luchador.
the knee surgeries Ray's had. The fact that he's going like he hasn't missed a beat still amazes me. Like,
You know who
I
I
try to watch
see?
a lot of Kurt Angle and Chad Gable stuff because I don't want to be just that high flyer. I want to be a technical wrestler too.
imagine
There you
Kurt and
go.
Bret
Yeah.
Hart. Ooh, good match.
Yeah, that would be good.
You know who Repik here reminds me of? He reminds me a lot of Matt
I haven't seen
Sydal,
that.
Evan Bourne in WWE. That's who.
One I heard before was Billy Kidman.
I think with the haircut, you kind of give off a. With the
Okay, yeah, I
haircut,
can
you
see
kind of
that.
give me like a hurricane vibe.
Yeah, Hurricane Helms. Yeah.
Dude, I'm like nailing it today. I'm nailing it today.
Nice.
I really
I
am. With the Xbox gamer tag and the tattoos, like, dude, I'm on it. I feel like I know this guy.
You sure you guys aren't friends?
He's actually got the Green Lantern symbol tattooed on his arm, and I have the ring on my finger and the entire oath on my side.
That's
Doesn't get
awesome,
more
man.
epic than Repik.
I'm a nerd. That's it. That's going to do a T-shirt. Hashtag Epic Repik.
I like it.
All right, Joe or Eddie, go
my
ahead.
next question. I was going to ask of anybody on the W roster that is new to you since you're back, who is one competitor that you would like to go one-on-one with in the ring?
One of the newer ones.
Eddie.
Yeah, like some.
We're gonna build a feud right here. I can feel it.
We're gonna start an angle.
Wait, what did you say on the PSW roster or on the WWE roster?
on the TSW roster
The TSW.
is what he said.
Someone you never squared off with.
Someone I never squared off with. Well, the entire Brotherhood, for one, that's every bad guy at TSW, just about it.
So what you're saying is
Yeah,
you want to
Jake.
face the newest
Yeah,
member of the Brotherhood, Eddie Wade.
Are you a new member?
I mean, I had a trial match. I don't know how that. I don't know.
You can't give
The
in to the
Brotherhood.
bloodline now. That's that bloodline. Lord have mercy. Lord,
I
acknowledge
just go
me.
where Eddie Wade goes. So
And remember, if you're watching along, go ahead, get your questions into the chat for Repik here.
Absolutely, yeah. But still, let's see. I'm always after the biggest competition there is. I mean, give me the big
ooh,
man, Travis Liddell.
All
I,
right. So
I,
you want that rock and roll championship.
hey, go for
go for
gold, baby.
gold.
I remember
All
he
right.
beat the cage match I saw of him. He beat Silly Larkin for that title, I believe.
Let's see some of the
Beat is a
Wild Child.
strong
He's a
word.
good competitor.
Well,
Wild Child's a
you
good
know, you
competitor.
know.
He's keeping me on my toes right now.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot of
Yeah.
blind side, and I'm gonna definitely have to teach him a thing or two. And if you end up joining the Brotherhood, I'm gonna have to teach you a thing or two.
Now see,
So we'll have to
my
start rolling
spot in
with
the
Russ.
Brotherhood, if I ever get one, it's gonna solely be for Mr. Eddie Wade here. I will only serve Mr. Eddie Wade, and it's gonna be really, really nuts to see this unfold.
You sound like the wise man. You
Yeah,
sound
I
like
was
the
Dude,
about to
I
wise
show
man.
up
say
with
he's got that Paul Heyman
dude,
shtick going.
Mr. Eddie
Yes,
Wade. That's
yes,
what
my
he
Eddie
is to
Wade.
me. He's
Yes, my
my
Eddie Wade.
guy.
Sounds like
I
you want
want
the
to.
least of the
I told
talent.
them kind of like I
Calm
told
down,
them
boy.
like you're a wrestler and you have goals and achievements. My goal is I want to be that manager that everyone says I want a manager like that. And I can say, well, you can't because I'm exclusive to Mr. Eddie freaking Wade, and that's how it is. But I want people to look at me and go, that guy brings his guy drinks, wrist tape, anything he can think of. That's what I want.
Take
All
Sounds
right.
good.
can't
Sounds
lie.
good.
So moving on here, I want you to kind of envision like it's someone's first day learning under Mike over at Marvelous. What's the advice you would give to that fresh faced recruit for them to succeed in this business? Because you've been around the block.
Right. One of the very first few things I was told when I first stepped in, and I'll be the first one to tell you this: keep it shut, open these, your eyes and your ears. Listen, take in what everybody tells you. You can, just listen to us. That's all we ask for. If we're nice enough to give you the time to give you something that you might learn and take with you, then show it. Be appreciative and take it. With these guys. I mean, if even if you don't, if you even if you disagree with it, keep your opinions to yourself. For the guys that has been there,
Mm-hmm.
who's paved the way for most of the newer guys coming in. Just keep keep your mouth shut, keep your ears and eyes open. Uh, take every piece of intel you can get from. I listened to Tracy Smothers a little bit before he was able to before he passed. I got to share the locker room with him about twice. A lot of others got to share it with him a lot more than I did. It was sucks that I only got 2 times with him, but those were 2 times that I tried to pick his brain. Um, Again, I try to go to whoever had the most experience, who was in the business longer than me. Um, just trying to pick their brain and get educated. What do I need to do to improve myself? Since you see me here now, and I'm seeking out some advice, just whoever gives you any advice, just take it with you. Do whatever you want with it.
Would
Just
you
take it
say
with you.
though, when it comes to like learning
That's
and
awesome,
taking
man.
advice and all that, would you say that in wrestling specifically, like if you have questions, ask them, get to know everything you want to know? Like, is this a specific thing where a sport where you'd be like, if you have questions, ask them because that's the only way you're going to learn them.
Absolutely. I was told there's never a stupid question unless there's literally a stupid question being asked.
I
But
like that.
uh, But yeah, but yeah, I was always told that too. There's never ever a stupid, silly question. But if it all depends on how comfortable you are with who you're going to with as well. I guess maybe not entirely, but but yeah, I would just I go to whoever is not as busy. Honestly, like
Okay.
another one I learned from the dancing man himself, Terry Allen. Love that guy. Um, I went up to him. I said, "Hey, one time I give you this one." I went up to him, "Hey, man, anything I can do for what we're gonna do in this match and make it look good, go over good?" He's like, "Go out there and have fun, brother." We went out there and we had fun
I
and we
bet.
killed it.
I bet one
There you
thing you
go.
learned from Sabu
That's
is not
really
to
good
no-show
advice.
events. Cough, cough. Hey,
Well,
I take shots at
yeah,
Ryback, Sabu, anybody. Come my
There you
way.
go.
that's another thing. At least give some type of notice on why you're not going or
Right.
going to be there. Just I
At
don't
least
know how or why, but we went to the airport to pick him up. He
Buff
didn't. He
Bagwell had
wasn't
his
there.
mom call in for him.
Oh, Bucky. I was actually on
Oh,
sharing a show with him one that
He's
he no
notorious for
showed,
that, I heard.
but I think he
wow.
actually had some
Yeah.
problems. I think he did have some
Yeah.
problems
And
on
that
why he
might have been
couldn't
around
show
the
up that
time I
night.
think I heard he had like some heart attack or issue or something. I know another wrestler that's terrible who's been banned from from wrestling events for that is Justin Credible. The old ECW wrestler Justin Credible, he would accept the money and plane ticket money. He'd return the ticket money, get that money, and then he'd never show events. And he really screwed a lot of promotions doing that.
I heard one of the Fat Two brothers was
You'll
doing
never
that
hear
here
that about my
recently.
tribal chief, though.
Really?
Hmm.
I you're
Listen,
talking
man.
about Jacob? Are you talking about Jacob's son
Yeah,
too? Samoan
Mm-hmm.
werewolf?
something
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
who he's
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I heard the same thing. Yeah, it's
Burn your
unfortunate.
bridges. Pull CM Punk. But,
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just firing all shots off at wrestlers today.
So just to kind of finish up here. Yeah. Yeah, you're just firing in all directions. So to kind of finish up here, where can people find your content? Can they connect with you on like social medias and such? And then will you be at TSW's return to Jellicoe to that show coming up here on the 16th? And do you have any other upcoming events that you would like to share with us or any promotions you're working with?
Mm. All right, back up and ask me the first question again.
All right, yeah, I feel like I put too much on the plate there. So first off, where can people find your content? Where can they kind of connect with you on social media?
Alrighty. I do not have an Instagram. I'm very rarely ever on Snapchat. Mostly Facebook. Um, my wife records my content when we go to wrestling shows, and she puts them on YouTube.
Okay.
Um,
Do you
the
know
best way, the
the
best way you
details
can
of the
find.
channel?
I do not. There's mixtures of my content out there. Super Assassin's web channel has some of my stuff on there. It's just hit and miss. All I know is you can look it up on some content on YouTube. Go to the search bar, Repik Wrestling, and it pulls up um, a few videos. You might have to scroll and search through
Yeah,
some
it's
nitpick here and
yeah,
there.
they're like posted by promotions, I believe, specifically
Some
that he was
are,
part of.
some are, and some are posted
Do
by
you
fans.
have
Yes,
what they?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
I've had trouble getting on here. I'm not too tech savvy, so I don't even have a camera yet. I'm working on that. I'm working on building myself
Do
up
you
too.
have what us young kids in the day would
You need
call
to get on
Twitter?
Twitter or something so you can interact with
I
your
was gonna say, do
fans.
you have what us young kids would call Twitter? Now it's called X. I feel so old.
I do feel old. Hush. Shut up. But
I have
I do
never.
post some of my stuff on TikTok. I'm learning how to do TikTok. Okay,
I don't
I'm
understand
30. Leave
TikTok
me
either.
alone.
Okay, what's your tick? Do you have like a wrestler TikTok that we could throw in there for you?
No, it's just at Jeremy Copper or something TikTok. I think I don't know. I really don't
Oh,
even know. I have my own TikTok. I think I
okay.
created a Repik one without even realizing it.
I get it because I don't even get all the stuff today. Like I never got the
All
point of
right.
Snapchat. I really don't get TikTok. Like it's just like YouTube to me.
All
Yeah,
right.
I just get on there and watch short clips and videos and just get
I
lost for
know.
about 5 hours and then forgot I had to take the
Yeah,
Snapchat off.
it's weird. It's like a black hole. You start
Yeah,
with
it
one and
is.
you
Dude,
just keep
TikTok's
going.
weird because like you'll be sitting there like on the toilet somewhere
So
just TikToking and you'll forget you're even on the toilet. You'll be like, oh crap, I need to get up. My legs are sore.
and
speaking from personal
Don't judge,
experience,
don't
Joey.
judge me.
what was some more of your question?
Okay, so will you be at the upcoming TSW show on the 16th here, the return to Jellicoe, Tennessee? And do you have any other upcoming events that you'd like to plug?
Um, I'm trying to. I will be at the Jellicoe event. Yes. I
Do you
done
know
talked to
what
my
you're doing
boss
on
at
the
my
show?
super job. I do not. Uh, I do not. I will talk to boss sooner or later.
All right. All right. And any other shows that you got coming up? I know you kind of bounce
Well,
around promotions.
I'm trying to get there's a lot of people I know it's on the wildfire show, and I've talked to a few people over there. And, some would like to see me over there, so I'm trying to talk to the promoters and seeing what they would like to. They got up with me the other day actually to work over in West Virginia, but I was currently at my real job, my shoot job, and I could not make that trip. And I had to respectfully decline and tell them I would like to be, on other shows in the future. If
We're
you
gonna
all
have
will
to
have
get
me.
linked up with those boys over at Wildfire. Because we okay, so we've interacted with TSW a bunch, we've interacted with WWA a bunch, so we've got the Kentucky area pretty locked down. We just need to talk to
Exactly. Yeah.
Wildfire.
Um. So would you guys say interviewing Repik was a fun episode today? I'm gonna I'm gonna go with
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, no, this has been a great episode.
I feel like I've
Yeah.
done better than what I was anticipating myself.
Oh no,
No,
you were
you're
great,
great.
man. No,
Yeah, I
you're
appreciate that.
you're absolutely
No,
fun to have
I
on.
was
Thank
just
you so
looking to sneak a
much.
yeah in there.
I guess with that we'll kind of close. I guess we'll just kind of close things out here. Then, do you have any parting words for us?
I just everyone be safe, be careful, love your neighbor, and let's all just keep kicking ass at these
Sound like a
shows.
modern day.
And come out to Jellicoe, Tennessee on the
Sounds like a
16th.
modern day.
Absolutely. Come out and
Sounds
see
like
us
a
at
modern day
Jellicoe.
Jerry Springer. Love each other and yourself.
Jesse always
Yeah, for real. Yes.
Jesse will always say happy wrestling.
Yeah,
I
Happy
will
happy
say
wrestling.
this
wrestling.
too: mental health is important, and if you anybody out there watching, listening, if you need help, reach out, talk to somebody. It's rough
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
out there. Trust me. I know. I've been there, and this is actually part of the comeback.
I think we've all had those moments where we're like, I wish it was
I just
younger again. I didn't have all the stress on my shoulders.
Hey, and
I
you
think
know we're
everybody's having
Early
an early
midlife
midlife
crisis.
crisis.
hey with the couple of years with the couple of years we all had there. Who can blame them?
Well, we had about 5 years
Hmm.
in 2020 alone, so I mean,
Yeah. All right. Well, from our guest, the undead tragedy himself, Repik, the honorary Oos Joey Hudson, during General Tyreek Ramsey, Mr. Eddie Wade, the future champ, and myself, Jesse Hemrock, the RPD Prophecy champion. This has been Ring Post Daily, and as Tyreek said, happy wrestling.